Hey, I'm Adam Jusko, and this is Strictly Credit Cards, where we talk about strictly credit cards. Subscribe, why don't you? In this video, I am going to review the Alaska Airlines Visa credit card. Now, Alaska Airlines, despite its name, doesn't only go in and out of Alaska, but it is an airline that serves the western half of the U.S. as well as Alaska and Hawaii, more so than the eastern half of the U.S. So if you were someone thinking of getting the card, it would make more sense probably if you lived in the western half of the United States for it to be something that would be desirable to you. Now, Alaska Airlines recently joined the One World Alliance, and in fact, as I make this video, some of the details are still being worked out in terms of how their frequent flyer program is going to, sort of correlate with some of these other airlines. But anyway, they had some airline partnerships before, but now those have expanded. So you've got American Airlines as a partner, you've got British Airways, Cathay Pacific, Japan Airlines, and there are some others in that alliance as well. So you're going to have more opportunities to redeem the miles that you earn from Alaska, as well as more opportunities to actually get miles when you fly on some of their partner airlines. Now, if you're thinking about getting the Alaska Airlines credit card, you probably want to be someone that does fly with Alaska Airlines every so often. Now, that might seem like an obvious statement, but there are other airline credit cards out there in the market where they will give you enhanced mileage for your purchases at restaurants or for gas or other things like that, where with the Alaska Airlines card, you're really going to get the rewards and the benefits for Alaska travel and not a whole lot of great stuff outside of that. So let's look at the details. The Alaska Airlines Visa is issued in partnership with Bank of America. It has a $75 annual fee in terms of rewards. 3 miles per dollar on Alaska Airline purchases, 1 mile per dollar everywhere else. Bonus opportunity, as I make this video, 40,000 miles plus a $100 statement credit if you spend at least $2,000 with the card in the first 3 months of having it. As part of that bonus, you'll also get a companion fare, which allows you to bring someone else along with you on an Alaska Airlines flight for a cheaper price, that being $99 plus taxes and fees, which means at a minimum that's going to be $121, and it could be higher depending on what those taxes and fees are. But that's how the companion fare works. Now, in terms of other things that you're going to get out of this card, free checked bag for you and up to 6 other people on your reservation. The card has no foreign transaction fees. There's discounts on in-flight purchases, discounts on day passes to Alaska Airlines lounges. So a lot of different stuff going on here. But as you can see, most of it is Alaska Airlines specific. So looking at those numbers, the Alaska Airlines Visa is pretty easy to justify in the first year. That $75 annual fee, not so bad, especially compared to the fees that some other airline cards might charge. If you can hit that bonus in the first year, well, then you're going to get that $100 statement credit, which basically takes care of that first year annual fee. Then you got the 40,000 miles. Then you've got the companion fare if you can use that. Alaska Airline miles generally seen as worth probably a little more than a lot of the miles from other airlines. So 40,000 miles, if you're talking about a domestic trip, probably $500 to $600 of value there if you use them with one of the One World partners, especially if you're someone that likes to fly business class or first class. You might be able to get more value out of them. Maybe you could get $800 or $1,000 of value out of 40,000 miles. Maybe you could get even more. Depends on how high class you want to fly. So anyway, in the first year, easy to justify this card because you're getting way more than you're paying in. Now, beyond the first year, like I said, you're probably going to want to be someone that actually does fly Alaska Airlines at least once a year for this card to feel worth it, because this card doesn't really feel like a great everyday value in terms of all the purchases you might make with a credit card if you're not flying on Alaska, because you're getting those 3 miles per dollar on your Alaska flights, but you're only getting 1 mile per dollar everywhere else. And even if you think the value of the points are, 1.5 or 1.6 or 1.7 cents per point, you still could probably do better with another credit card on your everyday purchases. However, with the free checked bag and the companion fare and the other things that this card offers, well, then that is where you're going to see the value on top of the rewards that you would get on your Alaska Airlines purchases. So easy to justify in the first year. Easy to justify beyond that if you actually fly on Alaska. But if you don't fly on Alaska, well, then it doesn't necessarily make a whole lot of sense to get this card. So there's not a whole lot more to say here. If you're a fan of Alaska Airlines and you are already flying Alaska Airlines, well, then the card makes a lot of sense. The annual fee is not bad. You're going to get those 3 miles per dollar on your purchases with Alaska Airlines, and so that is a pretty good deal. But if you don't already fly them regularly, I don't really know why you would go after this card, or at least keep it beyond that first year. Now, I should mention here that there also is an Alaska Airlines business credit card, also issued by Bank of America, almost a carbon copy of the consumer card version. The bonus is going to be a little bit different. The annual fee structure a little different in the fact that as a company you would pay $50 and then it would be $25 per year for each employee that actually has a card, but not a whole lot different than that consumer card in terms of the everyday rewards and the checked bags and mostly the bonus. Most things are going to be the same. So that is it. Questions, comments, put them in that comment section below. Otherwise, I thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon.